Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
The name of this project is called as Alochana. It's news as stories. So let's look at its content. This project also follows the 6 steps or 6 phases of the design process: research, analysis, ideation, prototyping, feedback, and creating a business model. It makes use of these tools: brainstorming, mind mapping, contextual inquiry is used here, followed by interviews, creating affinities, which leads on to ideation and then prototyping. They have used all these techniques in the project: secondary research, primary research, use of these tools, prototyping it, getting user feedback and validating it. And that's the project, Project Alochana, news as stories.
We are Team Curly Boy, composed of Arnesh, Mohak, and Soumya, and today we're going to discuss a striking problem in the Indian news media that has come to light over the last few years, and we'll even be as bold as to propose a solution. So, for this video, we'll start with the broad problem which we had identified. Then we'll take you through our research, the problem definition and the ideations. Then we'll discuss our proposal, our user base, our business model, the key metrics that we use to evaluate ourselves, and finally our 18-month plan. To start things off, let's talk about our area of interest, that is Indian news media. We have perceived a steady decline in the quality of digital news media, which notably came to light during the COVID-19 pandemic. Sensationalization is a way for conveying crucial news because this media relies on bad news with aggressive delivery. Our media focuses on a central loud story for weeks on end, leaving many issues underreported and unnoticed, and English news media is particularly prone to this problem. Publications have also increasingly been depending on government and private ads for revenue, effectively gagging themselves. With the new FDI policy shutting down foreign invested publications as well, many popular ones are top. Newspapers which migrate online are often unable to truly leverage the power of digital analytics and often disregard the permanence of the internet. Articles are mass produced with event-specific topics and high redundancy. So, with all this in mind, we recognize that there is a need for an independent publication funded by its readers. So we started our research by understanding the various existing products in the space. We looked at Indian and foreign publications to understand the variety of economic models and content creation models. We conducted our primary research in 3 modes, that is survey, interviews, and collaboration. The survey allowed us to collect a variety of data spanning people's demographics, political orientation, their likeness to discuss politics online or in person, even what they perceive as reliable and what they find appealing. To gain more context-sensitive insights, we conducted 10 interviews, 6 of which are represented here, to understand people's news consumption and preference. We also spoke to experts and brought them on board with us as collaborators. We met with Professor Sharmila from the HSS department on multiple occasions through the project, and Mr. Sunil Lula, the CEO of VARC. So we collected all of those insights from the surveys and interviews shown here in green and yellow, and grouped them into thematic categories shown here in orange, and then clustered them into very succinct summaries shown in blue. These summaries essentially became our key insights, which help us make sense of the copious amounts of insights from the users that we had collected in the first place. Finally, we were able to divide those problems into 2 keywords, comprehensive and approachable, which helped us formulate our concise problem statement, that is, addressing underreporting in Indian news media through comprehensive and approachable journalism. We also classified our target user groups into 3 categories on the basis of their news media consumption. A detached user is one who is unconcerned about news. A shallow consumer is only concerned with news on a surface level, and a conscious consumer is one who actively seeks and habitually consumes news on a regular basis. So we brainstormed ideas based on 5 categories spanning content, platform distribution, and the financial model. And we noticed certain clear models of operation emerging from the cluster idea and combined aspects from each one of these into our proposal.
A rigorous design process brought us to the product we're presenting today. We are proud to present Alochana magazine. We've ended each of our presentations thus far with it's time for Alochana. That's Bengali for discussion. Across the country, however, Alochana stands for ideas very important to us, from critique in Hindi to intelligent counsel in Malayalam. We are a publication operating in 3 spheres: web, social media, and print, and in 2 financial modes, free and subscription-based. We bring users well-crafted stories created in collaboration with journalists, artists, and experts, news on underreported topics, as well as certain crowdfunded on-demand stories that are printed and sent to paying contributors as a monthly magazine. In the next few minutes, we'll break down this heavy paragraph and show you how our concept works. We have 3 non-negotiable intents and have in turn transformed them into workable USPs, as we'll see by the end of the video. We'll go through each of them here. It became clear to us that the only way to maintain control over our content and avoid censorship was to remain financially independent, meaning no advertising. We focus on stories that don't lose relevance over time and are rich in analysis. And finally, we hope to create an inclusive place of intelligent discussion, promoting rational expressions of opinions. At Alochana, we follow a 3-content, 3-platform structure. Let's take a look at our 3 types of content here. Our cover stories are available only for paying members and are special in that their topics are suggested by subscribers, making them on demand, and that they're crowdfunded. These do not lose relevance with time. Topics for cover stories are sourced in-house, as well as from curated subscriber suggestions. After crowdfunding, a month is kept for the creation process, involving research, writing, and illustration, and translation before publishing. What we call other timeless stories make up the bulk of our content and are created collaboratively. We plan to publish 12 stories monthly, including the cover story, with some being free to read. These topics are sourced from grassroots journalists, whistleblowers, and stories which journalists have been struggling to publish due to censorship issues. They are financed in-house. We value visual design and illustration for their abilities to bring these news stories to life, and this reflects very prominently in our prototype. Finally, we come to Meanwhile News. This consists of small snippets of news on underreported topics. An in-house journalist or grassroots reporter may submit these articles, which are curated, edited, and compensated financially. They are then compiled, translated, and formatted before publishing on social media. These 3 kinds of content are distributed through our 3 platforms, each serving very different purposes. The social media pages are likely where most users will discover us through. They have short and to-the-point Meanwhile News delivered in text-carousel form, abstracts and teasers for published stories, and memes. These are ideal for regular user engagement and for improving reach. Shown here is a snippet of the Instagram page and an example of the Meanwhile News text carousel. The printed magazine is a monthly edition, shipped to all subscribers, and those who have crowdfunded that particular issue. It has 1 elaborate cover story, 4 to 5 more well-researched and illustrated articles selected from the 12 created that month. Along with these, it features 1 full letter to the editor, along with quotes and excerpts from more. Using existing articles, we've created a full prototype magazine ready for print. You can refer to the PDF attached with our submission for the full experience. Finally, we come to the website. This is the central hub of the publication and is designed to onboard users, as well as holding almost all of our content. Users are encouraged to subscribe and to crowdfund stories, but in non-intrusive, convenient methods. A 30-day free trial and some free articles are further used to entice new users. Let's take a little tour of the site from the point of view of a new user.
So we start at the homepage. This is what would be visible to you on your public profile. That is for a free user. We see lots of stories here, and we see that the cost of a river is free to read. So we'll click on this, and then we come across a very well illustrated story format of what was essentially a news or opinion analysis article. As we scroll to the end of the article, we see that the website urges you to become a subscriber. When we click on that, we come to the subscriber page. Subscribers are lovingly called Alochaks, and you see here that there are 2 plans to become subscriber. The Alochak plan is for 500 rupees monthly, and the various perks are listed below. And the Maha Alochak plan is for 1000 monthly, which has the same perks as the Alochak plan, but with goodies and other perks added to it. So we might not be ready to commit to these just yet. So what we'll do is we'll see what fund a story base. We click on this, and this takes us to the crowdfunding feature stories page. Here you can see that there are a few ongoing projects, and that there have already been 3 completed projects which have been successfully crowdfunded and published. Suppose we're interested in migrant labor rights, so we click on this. This takes us to the crowdfunding page where you have tiers of crowdfunding. and you can proceed to payment as well. And as you scroll down, you see the terms of the crowdfunding. We also noticed that there was a magazine section on time. This takes the magazine page, which is the heart and soul of our magazine, and it entices you to buy the magazine. So the thing way that you can buy this magazine is firstly to become a subscriber and you get a free magazine every month. Other one is that you can fund the story and get that issue for yourself. And finally, you can directly buy one of the published magazine. But these are expected more expensive than becoming a subscriber, which further entices people to become subscribers. Let's also have a look at the community page. So this is the community page one would see as a free user, as a public profile user. We see that there is an Alucha forum, but it's locked to subscribers. Again, it entices you to become a subscriber. You are paid to sign up to collaborate, either online or you can download the art print version and then submit it physically. And then of course you can message us. Let's see what this page would look like if you were a subscriber. So we go up here and we sign in. Sign in, we can see again you're invited to collaborate. There's the Alucha forum is open to you. You can what people think about each of these articles, what people are discussing at the moment. Story requests are open where you can counter articles which we would publish in our magazines. And of course, you can finally message us to get critique and feedback. Let's see what the homepage would look like for a site-in user. So you see it's personalized. All of the stories are free and available for you to read here. And I think now we can move on to the rest of the presentation.
Right. So a significant portion of the problems we associate with Indian journalism today lay in English news media content. Hence, during our primary research, we focused on users within this domain and later narrowed our targeted user base to urban English news media consumers. We're especially creating content for those who are interested in social, political, and environmental stories. Our choices of platform, aesthetics choices, content choices, and business model all reflect the decision of the user base. We've accommodated each of our 3 user categories in our platform and kept them in mind as we formulated our business model. As mentioned before, there are 2 main sources of income for the publication, crowdfunding and subscription model. Let's look at crowdfunding. Cover stories are pitched to the public for funding, where the contributors receive a printed magazine at the end of the month. There is a minimum amount that can be donated, and the donations themselves follow a tiered system, and each of the tiers has perks that get better the more you pay. A subscription model worked best for our publication, as not only are subscriptions becoming a better part of our lives every day, but it is also a stable income system to support the ad-free, high-quality content we provide. Most people do express a willingness to pay for online news in the future. With this model, our content is available in 3 ways. General public has immediate access to social media content, meanwhile news and abstracts for stories for free. Through a free trial of 30 days, users can also access stories and gain 50 fun points. Finally, as a subscriber, not only do they get access to all these stories, but also to monthly cover stories. They get merchandise, can suggest stories for crowdfunding, can submit counter articles or letters to the editorial, and even get ranked badges based on how they've contributed in the forums. Becoming an Alochak for 500 per month gives you access to all the content and forum, as well as the monthly magazine, while becoming a Maha Alochak for 1000 per month gives you all this and monthly merchandise like stickers, t-shirts, etc. This brings us to the costs of the publication. The fixed costs include the salaries for the in-house talent, website, and merchandising, and are calculated as shown here. Basing the calculations on estimated average salaries across India, we get a fixed cost of approximately 3 lakhs. The variable costs include the monthly printing costs and compensations for the collaborators of that month. Taking into account the average rates for each of the collaborators, we've calculated approximately 3.7 lakhs for the variable costs. Key metrics and validation. To understand our metrics for success, we come back to our intents as USPs and see how we will be evaluating and ensuring we're meeting these essential metrics. The publication is financially independent by having a crowdfunding and subscription model. Hence, primarily we'll use the number of subscribers and crowdfunding patrons as our markers for success. It is also topical and timeless by having news in hindsight with story and research-based articles instead of fast news. To gauge timelessness, we'll be leveraging the data analytical benefits of having a primarily online publication. We check how user engagements perform even 2-3 months after an article was originally published. It is inclusive by offering users to counter opinions and pieces presented by the publication, hence being open to criticism and multiple points of view, and also by letting people suggest topics and discuss the cover stories. We stay close to our Alochak community and judge its success by its growth and user engagement. Crowdfunding itself is a measure of success of a community as we use it to publish cover stories that connect with our user group. Now coming to our 18-month plan. Our primary metric for growth is the number of subscribers. Keeping that primary metric in mind and putting together an estimate of our expenses, we can chart a plan for the coming 18 months. We have used the subscriber growth data of the Ken as a reference to make our own estimates. We've elaborated upon the financial plan for the first 3 months, over which we aim to grow 2,000 subscribers. For the next 5 quarters, we aim for 4,000 subs by the second quarter and 8,000 by the sixth. As we move further, our priorities will shift from trying to onboard subscribers to retain them through consistent quality content. Essentially, over the 18 months, we would like to improve our scale of collaboration, hire a larger in-house staff of editors and translators so we can collaborate with a wider spectrum of grassroots journalists, sourcing stories across different languages and publishing content in regional languages as well, thereby scaling up our user base. In a few years, we not only aim to become an independent publication funded and supported by its readers, but also to grow to become a sanctuary for lasting stories and Alochana.